Use anything right here. All right, we're live, by the way. All
Awesome.
right. Yes. How about we simulate the old intro?
Featuring big old Drewski.
Oh, sorry. What's up, everybody? It is another Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we have a huge motherfucking show for you. We've got who's on the line? I got some bald guy is here, but is there a tree, a urinating tree, somewhere out there?
I'm present, Mr. Teacher.
All right,
Am I
glad.
getting an A on my exam?
Yes. Did you clean your room and get your homework done before the show? And then we
No.
have. Sorry. And we have another special guest joining us. Back from Atlanta. He was actually at the fucking Super Bowl. Drew Morris, a.k.a. Not the Expert. What's up, buddy?
I'm good, man. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about the Super Bowl. I can't wait to get into it later.
I am ready for that. So obviously, we're gonna do it a little different tonight. We're gonna talk a little bit, break for some super chats, aka Snapchats, and then talk some more because I think y'all want to hear what the experience was like from Drew at the Super Bowl. So, and then welcome any new people that have subscribed since last week. Thank you all for coming and watching the show. But yes, we will read the Snapchats. Do not worry. They'll all come in due time. First of all, was that the worst Super Bowl ever?
Yeah, it was not fun to watch, and it's probably pretty boring to watch at home too, but not having the commercials to fall back on kind of sucked.
The commercials weren't even that good. You weren't missing shit.
Damn.
The only one that was any good was like the NFL 100, which was
Damn.
Yeah. And the acting was really suspect in that commercial too. Like,
dude. At least you could say the NFL did something good for once with that commercial, which is like, holy shit.
Yeah.
What?
yeah. It's pretty bad though when the only commercial like of any note worth was from the brand itself, right? Like,
Oh, maybe the Game of Thrones one wasn't too bad either. The one where they kill the Bud Knight.
yeah,
That one was good too.
Yeah.
Was there no GoDaddy or Doritos this year?
There
I
was
know.
some Doritos, but it was just like they're all trying too hard to stand out.
It would. I long for the days when GoDaddy would have two hot chicks go at it in a swimming pool. That was. Those were the golden days of advertising.
Oh, I think you mean
Dude,
Hardee's.
could you imagine Twitter like flipping out on that now?
Oh yeah, two chicks making out in a swimming pool, like for an internet ISP. Like, what?
fast.
Right. Oh, I busted many nuts to that commercial. All right. So
TMI.
yes. All right. So the game itself, and we'll get Drew's feedback on this. A lot of people I've been watching, listening to sports radio, they were like, "Oh, it was so brilliant. It was tactical." I was like, "Dude, it was boring as fuck." And I love football. Like, I don't know.
Well,
Do you guys share that opinion or disagree?
I think a lot of people are claiming it's such a great defensive performance, but I didn't really see that. I saw really poor offense, at least in my opinion. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
I saw.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, man.
No, you got it.
No, that was all I got.
Oh,
Sorry.
I had one cheap joke. I was like, man, you've played a lot of Madden, so you know how to run an offense. And
Well, one thing I hated was I felt like Sean McVay wasn't taking any risk halfway through the game. Like, if nothing's working, give us a fake punt or something. Give us something crazy.
yeah,
But
and
nothing.
the thing with the passing game that I noticed at least was like they tried to stay conservative with the checkdowns and all that shit,
Yeah.
and then when they decided to go deep, the only thing that Belichick was giving him was the middle, and Goff wasn't finding the middle at all. Like his progressions, it looked like to me, anyways, was he was looking for the hot reads at first, and then if he was gonna throw deep, he was fucked because they would drop the safeties back. So like he was not playing the smart like Aaron Rodgers 18 yards in the middle of the field throws at all to me.
No.
Thing to me too is that like I felt like Wade Phillips devised a good game plan. I think he did okay. The problem was I felt like the Rams offense just didn't show up. Like the Patriots went into his own scheme and the Rams did nothing to adjust to it. Todd Gurley didn't get anything done. C.J. Anderson didn't get anything done. And then you have Brandon Cooks dropping everything in sight. The only good play like I really saw from the defense was like Jason McCourty going back to the end zone, breaking that deflection. But that was because Jared Goff threw an embarrassing duck. That's why. That should have been a touchdown.
Yeah, if he put some mustard on that, that was 6. It was bad.
Yeah, that's why I don't say it's a defensive battle. Like, it wasn't defensive. It was ugly. It was like, 50s, 60s football.
There were times he had several guys open deep, but he just took so long to find them. By that time, they were covered.
He's a leopard that has not changed his spots. Like, he has been like that since he came in. And a lot of people were talking about, it takes time to develop as a QB. I'm like, all right, well, what about Patrick Mahomes? Like, he's got 1 year under his belt, and he was a possession away from beating the Patriots. Jared Goff, and that touchdown when the Patriots finally scored might as well have been 80 points. Like,
you have to remember when he was a rookie, he was heinously bad. So he has shown some progression. Just put it that way.
He looked really nervous in this game. Like I don't like the NFC Championship. He was really bad at the beginning of that game, and he just looked like the same the entire Super Bowl.
Yeah, I can understand that. I can understand the nerves, right? It's the biggest game. Like, it's a big fucking deal. And it's just he did not get – the only other quarterback, though, I've seen to have those nerves was Kaepernick when he started the Super Bowl. Like, you could tell he was visibly shaken. Goff just seemed like he had like he just couldn't get it going.
Another element to it was, I don't know if they stressed this on TV, but it was like 80% Pats fans, maybe more.
Yeah, they did say a little bit of that. Even with like the fan cheering, you could see that. Like,
I'm
kind of disappointed, even though LA was on the opposite side. I figured they'd have more of a fan base there. I thought they were gaining inroads.
No, man. LA doesn't have any fucking fans.
No, it's the Chargers that were the ones that didn't have anybody show up.
Yeah, I think you could have played this game in LA and there would have been more Pats fans, honestly.
Yeah. It's just too new of a team. Like, I feel like most people in California are like 49ers fans or maybe Raiders fans.
I feel like they're mostly transplants. I feel like, you're going to get like a mix. You're going to get like Cowboys and Steelers and Seahawks, some old Niners and Raiders fans. You might have a few Rams fans here and there from when back they were in the 80s and 90s. But I feel like most of them are just like all scattered because LA is more of a melting pot of the country.
Yeah. That's California. I think in San Francisco there's a New Orleans Saint themed bar in San Francisco. Like, I'm sure there's shit like that in LA, like just a Chicago Bears themed bar, and you're just like, okay, like an entire bar for another team's fan base in this city. Okay. I don't know how that works, but I did notice that there was a lot more cheering, and that added to Goff's confusion. Like, he was like, wait a minute, this is a neutral site game. Like, So
it was nowhere near as loud as like the Saints probably were, because like I've been to games with like half stadium full and it was louder at like college football games.
Oh,
so I don't think it was like so loud that he couldn't hear or something.
Wasn't it pretty loud when you went to the Superdome tree? Oh
yeah, it was pretty loud, especially later on the fourth. I couldn't imagine the NFC Championship game too.
It's crazy that the Patriots just absolutely bent the Rams over, a team that went through some very tough competition to get to the Super Bowl. Very tough. And they made them look foolish.
Of course. Like, I mean, they looked bad. Like, when they played the Steelers, they did not look like that team that went to the Super Bowl. Like, their line looked weak. They looked undisciplined. Their defense looked sloppy. Gronk looked like he was 45. And I'm sitting there like, this team's about done. And then I'm sitting there like, afterwards, like, what happened? Because they just emergently like snapped back to what they were 10 years ago.
They had a week off, and then they had another week in between to prepare, and that's what happens when you give Belichick.
That's when you give Belichick time.
Right. When he gets new men and supplies, his army gears up. All right, let's take our first break for these Snapchats, and then I'm going to talk about Drew's experience at the game. We can talk more about the game itself. I do want to talk about Belichick as a coach and his game plan. like which was really interesting. But let's get through these Snapchats here. So I'll take the first one. Liwa503 busted the cherry. I can't tell what's funnier, St. Louis roasting Kroenke on Twitter or the Blues scoring more Saturday than the Rams did Sunday. I don't think St. Louis really can say shit though. Like,
St. Louis, I mean, you figure you'd be laughing at the Patriots who beat you the last time the Rams made the Super Bowl.
Right. But I guess Kroenke did them dirty, so they've got some bitterness. The Blues can't say anything though, even though they did score more Saturday than the Rams. They scored 10 points. They scored 10 goals. That was a 10-3, I think, was the final. Not the outcome that Stan Kroenke wanted. You got this next one, Tree?
Yes, sir. For Eli Arbaiza.
Oh, wait, you skipped one. There's one above that.
Oh, the squid. Sorry, brother. I got that one. $5. The only thing Tree can accurately predict, the Steelers turning to shit and the Patriots winning. That's incorrect. I predicted the Red Sox winning the World Series, too. And the Capitals winning the Cup. Yeah. Although those were all sarcastic, so.
Yeah, but, you know, if they're sarcastic and they come true, then you're an expert. That's what happened.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I did say the NFL would win this one, and I think they lost pretty badly.
Yeah, you jinxed the entire NFL. That was bad, man.
It was a really bad thing, though. I'm going to say that.
All right, Eli Arbaiza. Tree, how passionate are Yinzers about the Pirates?
I'd say they're more just pissed about Bob Nutting being cheap. That's the real thing about the Pirates. I mean,
yeah,
it's at the point where it's just like, we don't care. It's like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's obvious they don't give a shit. It's like, what can you do?
Have they made any moves this offseason? They haven't done shit.
Fuck no. They've only signed like some depth pieces. They brought back Francisco Liriano on a minor league deal.
Oh, boy.
So, like, yeah, might be like a reliever.
Isn't his arm stitched together with yarn?
Probably. I mean, his last few years, he's declined pretty badly.
He's going to be like Tom Browning and just throw and break his arm at the same. I don't want that to happen, but it could. That was a horrific injury, by the way. All right, you got this next one?
Yep. From Dodger of Zion. Rip 2018 NFL season. I won't miss it. To be fair, I don't think many people will. Where do you think Deebo Samuel will end up in the 2019 draft?
Drew, what do you think about that one?
Deebo Samuel. Where did he go to school?
I think he's South Carolina's Gamecock.
Yeah, game kick. I don't know. Is he?
I'm not a big draft guy.
Oh,
yeah. What is he like? Mid first round projection?
Yeah. Deebo Samuel. What are the experts saying? Oh, she's got us stumped. They're saying
for the expert,
he's a wide receiver, so probably second or third round, maybe.
I don't know. Some teams may reach. So like,
we'll see. Wide receivers. The Steelers will be needing one for sure.
Don't remind me. At this rate, they'll probably draft Antonio Brown's cousin.
And they probably won't get much back from him. All right, Ben Dolden. That's a new one, everybody.
$10 Canadian.
Yeah, $10 California money. What do you think of Foles voiding his contract and AB being under investigation for assault? So Foles deserves to get paid wherever he goes, but this talk of him being franchised, like, I don't think the Eagles do it. They want something.
They shouldn't do it because they have a lot of free agents to sign. You've got Brandon Graham due. You might have worries about Jason Peters and Jason Kelsey. You have like an entirety of a decent bit of your offense that's due for money. It'd be extremely foolish to try and give Nick Foles $25 to $30 million when you know your future, like it or not, is Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I agree, and he's a backup, and Carson Wentz is young. I think the biggest asset in the NFL is years, not necessarily talent all the time. Like
Big Dick Nick is kind of like he is what he is. He's really great in a pinch, but he's not the kind of guy who can start all 16 games for
you. He's not going to lead your team to the 11 wins that you need to make the playoffs. That's the problem. But he has shown that, hey, I can be the stunt cock and come in and win you a ring, though. So,
of course,
just skip 3/4 of the year and then get inserted for the playoffs. All right, let's read like 2 more, and then we'll get back to talking a little bit. You got this next one? Oh, we didn't talk about AB. So AB is alleged another assault, I think, in Florida. Is that what happened?
Yeah, it's an alleged domestic assault. And it happened apparently mid-January, and they never pressed charges. So, I mean, honestly, there's a part of me that's not surprised. But it's just like, dude, stop.
Yeah.
Just
Come
stop.
on down to Antonio's Flying Furniture Shop. You buy it, we throw it out of a 10-story window at you. Make sure your kids are not in the target area when this happens, and we'll be all good. Yeah, I think AB is the new Team Cancer. Like, he's taken the top spot over Eli Apple last year. He's the new. Let's see, who's the biggest Team Cancer you can name of, so we can.
Probably Greg Hardy.
Yeah, he's the Greg Hardy Man of the Year award recipient is Antonio Brown, everyone.
You think the Madden curse had anything to do with that?
Ooh, I don't know. I think the Drew Morris curse. You met him, right?
Yeah. I met him I met him a year ago for doing the cover shoot stuff, and then I met him again this past week when he had like the white mustache.
That weird ass hair.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That was yeah.
Did
There's
he remember
a clip in
you?
my video where he's like taking a picture and his eyes like get all crazy eyes. They like pop out. I gotta show it to you. I'll send you like a screenshot.
Yeah. So did he recognize you when you saw him again?
No, but he recognized your boy Pizza.
Oh, well, there
I
you go.
didn't interact with him much.
I mean, Mr. Worldwide, your boy Pizza is a celebrity. All right, let's cut.
AB did kick me off my game against Shaquem Griffin though, but we can get to that later.
Oh, Pizza did?
No, AB.
Oh, he kicked you off.
It sounds like an AB move.
He cut you out. Wow. Did you fight him? Come on, man. You should have.
Basically, I was the domestic dispute.
Oh,
No.
there was a domestic dispute in Atlanta between Drew Morris, known YouTuber.
Unreported.
Yes, but charges were declined after AB cried and ran away. Yes. All right, one more. David Benjamin. Tree, I'm sorry that the Steelers are no longer the Super Bowl winningest team. Also, what's your take on the upcoming AAF season starting in the 10th? Lovely segue, by the way. Kicks Tree while he's down and then brings up the AAF.
Dude, I don't feel bad. I got annoyed by Steelers fans doing that 6 rings bullshit. It means nothing.
I like your attitude.
So now it just makes people mega salty around here because they can't do the 6 ring defense unless they do like some massive asterisk because the Patriots are cheaters or some stupid shit like that. So it's like, it was an old tired meme and it had to go.
Yeah. What's even worse though is like if a Pats fan starts talking shit and they bring up the 6 rings, and then they can also be like, yeah, and we went through you most of the time for those 6 rings.
Of course.
That's sad. All right. Drew, aren't you going to the Birmingham Iron game this weekend?
Yeah. I tweeted at them on Twitter, or obviously tweet on them on Twitter, but they DM me and they're like, hey, we'll give you some free tickets if you like vlog the game. And I'm like, big bet. I'm there. Because it's like 2 hours away from me. So RBT and I are going to go.
Are they playing in the at Legion Field?
Yeah.
Oh.
First
Lock your
20,000
card.
fans get like a t-shirt or something.
Oh,
If
really?
they even get to 20,000. Yeah.
Yeah. Legion Field is like a dump, isn't it?
I haven't been there in like a decade.
Every
Do
time.
they use that field for the XFL?
Maybe.
That's my question.
So is the AAF going to have strippers as their cheerleaders? That's all I want to know. Because,
I'm going to say a hard no.
in Birmingham, maybe that's all they can find. I'm just saying. All right, who are these teams? All right, who are they have a power rankings. Like, who has time to go out and scout these AAF teams? Like, hey, look, it's a bunch of guys that can no longer play college but are no good for the NFL. So Rick
They have
Neuheisel.
Josh Johnson. So if you got a little scout preview of him if you watch Redskins games.
Yep. So Rick Neuheisel is coaching the Arizona Hotshots. I did not know that. Who's the Birmingham?
Hotshots.
Spurrier, Orlando.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? Oh, sorry.
Brad Childress was going to be the head coach of one of the teams, but I think he just fucked off.
I think Brad Childress decided to go teach high school was what he was his profession before football. At least that's what he looks like.
I mean, it's a blast from the past. You got Mike Singletary, Dennis Erickson, Mike Martz.
Oh my god.
The other three are Mike Riley, Kevin Coyle, and Tim Lewis.
Wow. I'm surprised Schottenheimer's not in that mix. Marty.
He already did his mix of like an offshoot NFL league.
Yeah, UFL, and he won the championship.
Yep. Broke his own curse.
All right, let's go back because we're now through some Snapchats here. We'll pick up where we left off. TIE Fighter 94 is up next, okay? But you said Drew, you got to play Madden with Shaquem Griffin. Tell me all about that.
Well, I'm sure everyone's first question was he able to play the game and was he any good? Yeah, he played just fine, but we weren't taking the game too seriously, but his hand did not affect him at all, or lack thereof, I guess.
I started thinking about that. I was like, you really don't do anything with your left hand other than the stick. I mean, you might hit the L1 bumper, but I'm sure he could modify his controller, or he could just not give a shit about, I guess in Madden, L1 is a receiver. You can change the buttons, so that.
Well, I was asking him, I was like, do you ever get a chance to play? And he's like, no, we have 13-hour days, so usually just focused on game tape and stuff. I was like, makes sense.
Yeah, I could imagine that those guys have super long days where they're just going over film and just getting bored as fuck and being like, I wish I had my Nintendo Switch, and not being able to do shit about it. But they also make millions of dollars.
Yeah. Well, you could tell from interacting with a lot of those players, the younger ones, especially the rookies, were probably the easiest to talk to and hang out with.
Really?
Derwin James, he was really cool. Juju was cool.
I'm sure.
The Griffin brothers were really nice. But Derwin James is really good at Madden. He beat everybody there. He beat the Madden devs. Yeah, he beat the Madden devs that were up there. He 21 skunked TD Barrett. It was hilarious.
I bet you those guys were pissed, huh? They were like, "Oh, okay."
They were surprised. I was like, "When the heck do you get time to practice or anything?" But apparently, he plays mutt all the time.
Holy shit! So he plays in the NFL.
Yeah, and he was using the Eagles when he was playing people because he was like, Phillip Rivers is too slow.
Jesus God.
He's like Bengal in the backfield when he sees Keenan Allen open downfield. That's a major diss. He doesn't even want to playing with Phillip Rivers is so unfun. He doesn't even want to play with himself in the game.
It's a disadvantage. You need the scrambling quarterbacks.
Absolutely, because that's what Madden's all about, is going for that first down when nothing's open, when the computer has locked your offense down. So Derwin was smoking everybody. I was like, okay, so he has a 13-hour day where he just thinks football, and then he's like, man, I got to get on some Madden. I got to play some mutt. That's some dedication right there to football.
I guess, Juju plays Fortnite and stuff. Those are probably shorter games, but Madden, it's challenging. I at least to build up those teams takes forever.
Absolutely. And it's not. I think one game of mud it will take half an hour from the load to.
Well,
to
I guess
sign
if he's
out.
that good, they'll be quitting before he even has to do anything.
That's when I used to play Madden, and you just go up against someone that's just that much better, and you're just like, it's a game. I can hang with this dude, and you're like, no, this dude is just annihilating me and reading me like a fucking book on defense. And that's what Bill Belichick did to Jared Goff. So, all right, were there what else did you get to participate in Radio Row and shit? And what else were you doing out there besides, playing NFL players in Madden?
Well, we got to go to this custom shoe place, and Travis Kelce just showed up there. So that was neat.
Really?
Yeah, it was a Nike place. You got to attach a custom swoosh color on there. So that was pretty fun. I made some UGF shoes.
That's what I was gonna say. Did you get black and red for the UGF pandas?
Oh,
And,
yeah.
like for the major flex. And did they come out of like a magic box when you were done, like steam and shit? Just
No,
here are your
it was
fucking.
just like a regular like stitch thing. But the next thing we did was like when we were meeting all the athletes and playing them, there was like a concert, and we got to go to the VIP section with all the athletes, and Ninja was up there.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you this, but I saw Matthew Berry up there. He was talking to Ninja.
Uh huh.
He was absolutely sauce. This man was like spilling his drink everywhere.
Who?
He
Matthew
like
Berry?
bumped into me almost. Yeah, the fantasy football guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was trashed.
Nice, nice. I'm glad you were sober enough to remember the experience. I mean,
Yeah. I wish I had it on camera, but I thought I'm not going to try to ruin this guy's career.
yeah, there's kind of a code there, right?
Yeah.
I guess. So who from the influencer side was there? So I saw that you ran into Mr. Beast, but I'm sure he wasn't there on EA's dime. But you're saying Pizza was there, Barrett. Who else was there?
Yeah, QJB was there, Eric Wayweather. See who else was there. I think that might have been it for like the YouTubers.
Ah, nice. How come KTO, Flemlo, Urinating Tree, and 5Points Vids couldn't get up in on that shit? I mean,
Because
come on.
SeatGeek wasn't sponsoring it.
Yeah.
That's why. You know that.
Maybe next year. Maybe next year if we
You got
can.
to start uploading Madden, man.
Yeah. I don't want to go there. That's what I started.
When you were there before, go back to the dark side. Come
Yes,
on, man.
Yes, wasting my life playing 2 hour, 3 hours of Madden and then cutting up that footage to get 30 views, maybe 40 for me, anyways. I was bad. I was very bad at Madden as a commentator. I was not good. If you think I sound like Kermit the Frog, just put that over Madden footage. All right, let's read some Snapchats here. We're about up on one more break, and we'll get through these. I think TIE Fighter 94.
TIE Fighter 94.
You got that? Okay.
Yeah, this is going to hurt some people. I'm
Yep.
still pissed off we get no sweet victory at the Super Bowl. You blew it, NFL. The thing like that always iffed me, it's like, I mean, I wasn't really crazy about sweet victory, but they kind of cock teased it in a way where it's like, you're going to play it. And then you turn it into Travis Scott. It's like, no.
Now, why'd they
No,
take away
yeah.
your sign, Drew? Like, you had a sign for that shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, they were saying it was going to like obstruct the view of people behind me or something. So I was like, whatever. I'll toss it.
Were you in a box or were you just on the general like admission?
It was the general admission. We were like 13 rows up or something.
Nice. End zone, I think.
Yeah.
And you
Not
were
bad.
with other.
Yeah, it's some pretty good seats, but I was like behind some really obnoxious fans. I'm not going to say which team, but I think you can guess. They were just like super trash the whole game, and they were standing up, dancing around the whole time. Just tough to see.
Was the team they supported first initial N, second initial U, England Patriots? Was that
No comment.
okay? Yes. So I'll take that as a yes. All right. Yeah, I thought that we were gonna get sweet victory. I mean, the internet had been calling for it for much of a year, I think. But all in all, how bad was the halftime show? Was it as bad as we thought it was?
Well, I didn't really like. I thought like Maroon 5 and stuff was fine. I never really care if it's like some crazy show or anything, but like I was excited for the SpongeBob thing, especially because they were like teasing it on social media beforehand
Mm-hmm.
and the petition and stuff. Because I love SpongeBob so much. I play Sweet Victory anytime I win in like NCAA or Madden.
Yeah.
Like everyone on my channel, like it's like a meme. So I was there for it. I made the sign. I was ready to go. Then they made me throw it away, and then they gave us 5 seconds, and I was just disappointed. The game was already pretty bad, and that was just like a kick in the nuts.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to play it now. I don't think you guys can hear my audio.
If you look at the halftime, like the NFL ratings for it, I think it's like 10% likes to 90% dislikes. Like they are bombing the shit out of that.
yeah,
And I think it's like 350,000 dislikes last time I checked. or something like ridiculously high. Like it's
yeah, it was YouTube Rewind level bad. Like
no YouTube Rewind would be 10 million. Like that was just piss poor optics.
that was really bad. That was the worst rewind ever. Like YouTube used to be.
Most rewinds suck nowadays, but that one was just like, no, you don't get it at all.
Yeah.
You guys can't hear it, can you?
Just wait till they get rid of the dislike button.
They will. The dislike doesn't hurt you though. It's for that person. Like if somebody dislikes your video, it actually helps you. Like I want the people that hate me to not see my video. Like that makes sense, you know. Anyway, Sweet Victory was in the background. That was a bummer. We did get cock teased. And then we saw Adam Levine with his shirt off and I was like, "Okay, that was not the type of nipples I was looking for." Yeah. All right, Beast of Metal 1989. Nowadays, Twitter only flips out on people who express dislike for Gritty, even if you were yelling about medical pot for epileptic kids 5 minutes earlier.
I felt like in that case, like Gritty would just jump out behind you and stab you in your sleep. But I thought that might be different now.
Yeah,
Gritty might be reformed.
Yeah, people are starting to change on Gritty. It's his personality that's winning people over, you know.
That dude's Philadelphia. That's why. It's like he doesn't give a fuck. It's like, do it.
He does look like a sex offender. Llama Lord, $2. We'll get through these in a little bit. Check what I tweeted you, FPV, you nerd. What did he tweet me? Did he at me?
I don't know, mine. While you look that up, I'll get to the next one. Mr. Flylatori, $4.99. Welcome, brother. Well, I got the flu. I know this is a football show tonight, but do you think it's traded at the NHL deadline minus Panarin and Bob? Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one.
Well, you'd be looking at, like, maybe if Ottawa had sense, they'd probably look at trading Stone, Duchesne, or both. I'd probably say Jeff Skinner, maybe, if that Buffalo doesn't think they're going to make it. Yeah. I would say if Detroit can waive their no-trade clauses, I would say Gustav Nyquist, Jimmy Howard.
Kevin Hayes is gone. Kevin
Hayes, I would probably say, like, I'd even go further. I'd say Zuccarello.
I'd say they'll dump Zook. They will. The Rangers have shown that they don't give a fuck about loyalty. They will fucking...
Dude, they should just blow it up. They're not going to win with that core. Right. Like, they're not even going to win with Zibanejad. I just, like, go and just gut it and just go with a full bore rebuild.
Full tank and just let Hedl and Larson just fucking get... Or
pretty
Anderson,
much. That's what I do.
Hedl
like, because at this point, it's just like... but it's going to be a couple years. Like, Zibanejad's going to be probably 28, 29 before you're competitive again. Kevin Hayes, he's going to be a free agent. He's going to be gone.
Yeah.
Lundqvist is probably going to be gone at that point. Like, you got to see what you got with Georgiev. That's all I really say.
Yeah, the Rangers suck. And Hayes is having a good year, and it sucks. All right. Flylatori, Big Boy's car drove 58% further down the field than the Rams offense did.
So Todd Gurley got more yards jogging back to the locker room than he did on the field.
All right, that's a good segue, because I want to talk about the defense. So apparently what I've been reading is what Belichick did was he would have the defense line up one way and have McVay calling the play, and then when the 15 seconds had expired, he would shift looks. I don't know if you saw that.
That means it's just the Rams failed to adjust. That's the way I see it. Yeah. Just saying, like, okay, beat us. And they're like, what? It's like pretty much Sean McVay calls that offense. And I feel like Sean McVay is the one trying to control Jared Goff at this point.
Yeah, and the Pats sniffed it out. And I don't know, Drew, did it look just as dominant a defense as everyone? I mean, they held the highest scoring NFL offense to 3 points, or second highest scoring offense to 3 points. Like, did it look that good?
Well, I go back and forth because, like, it's obviously like Bill Belichick is out coaching Sean McVay like to a crazy amount in that game, but there was a lot of opportunities that the Rams just flat out missed or like played scared.
Yeah, I didn't think it was like, how come nobody, like, I'm sure Sean Payton's a brilliant coach. How come they didn't do that to the Rams, right? Like, well, I don't know. I think it was a bad storm of Goff not being ready or not having a plan B. So
yeah, that's probably more likely. Like Tree brought it up, like McVay controls the entirety of the offense. So if he waited to the last 15 seconds and Goff doesn't have a game plan, or like he's not able to adjust, he's screwed. Like before the ball's even snapped.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what we saw, and it just ended up being a non-exciting sort of humdrum Super Bowl. Like there was only one drive where you actually like felt like it was a game, and that was Goff ends up throwing a pick. So, you know.
Yeah, that was so disappointing.
I know,
All
dude.
hope was
That
lost.
was a buzzkill.
Yeah. And it's not that, I was necessarily like, I obviously wanted the Rams to win, but like at least score the touchdown to tie it. And then like, yeah, okay. If the New England Patriots went down and scored and it was, 13-10 with 0 seconds remaining, that's fine. Like they pulled a close one out, but the Rams really just did not show up. Like,
Yeah.
Their offense, at least. Their D, I felt like, did stuff.
yeah.
I felt Phillips, that was a waste of Wade Phillips and his men's performance.
He
Because
did.
they had a good game.
Yeah.
They made New England look very mortal.
I tell you who showed up was the punters. My goodness.
Johnny Hecker should have been MVP, man.
Yeah. That was amazing.
That would have been my pick.
Yep. Bill Parcells used to say that the punter's like the most valuable player on a team because it's all field position.
I was telling everybody around me, I was like, Pat McAfee's putting in work on Twitter right now. He's hashtagging for the brand everywhere.
Yeah, I did notice a lot of Pat McAfee come through my feed because he was just, I mean, at some point, like Bengal was cracking jokes like, you got to use the run to set up the punt. Like he was having a good tweet night for sure. It was just an ugly game, man. And I'm tired of people trying to, like, all these football guys like just saying that, oh yeah, it was great, it was coaching mastery, and I'm like, yeah, it was not exciting. It was not. Go ahead.
You go ahead.
No, I was gonna read a super chat, but you had a thought.
I was saying, like, I posted my video about it just a few minutes ago, and it said attending the worst Super Bowl in NFL history, and people are like saying, well, it was a good game. It was just defensive battle. I was like, just because the defenses might have played well, maybe that's your opinion, but it was still boring. It was still, like, hard to watch. It just wasn't fun at all.
Like, defensive battles can be exciting.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
There's just no excitement in that game. It was just lifeless.
You were there. Like, it should have been a life-changing experience, even though you don't really have a dog in it. Like, what team do you like? Do you have an NFL team?
I'm an Eagles fan, mainly because Jordan Matthews is, like, from my hometown.
Ah, okay. So you had that excitement last year, but
Yeah.
you're at the Super Bowl and you're bored. Like, that's wrong.
Well, I was annoyed that I was, like, annoyed by the game. I was like, I should be enjoying this. This is like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But there was just nothing to, like, perk my feelings up.
That's bad. All right,
I would, like, go get some food, and then I'd come back, and I was like, oh, now I gotta watch the game.
Right. Well, there were more 3-and-outs in that, and I'll tell you, Wade Phillips, like, to echo Tree, he did his fucking job, man. He held the New England Patriots to 13 points. That should get you a win. Like, your offense should be able to score 14 fucking points against the Patriots, a team not fucking known for their defense. Like, that was terrible. And now they have 6 rings, and it's just all right. Trey Magathen. Matter of principle, screw Stan Kroenke. Agree. Him and his fucking toupee. Nick the Geek, SB54 is going to be a SB4 rematch. Don't at me. Who is that? The Chiefs?
Chiefs Vikings.
Yep. Could be.
And the Vikings were heavily favored. The Chiefs beat them.
Yep.
I don't know about the Vikings, man. I mean, they still have a lot of free agents, too. And you got to figure out if Kirk Cousins is the real answer or not.
They gave him all
And
that
also
money.
fix that offensive line.
Yeah. They gave him all that money. He better be the fucking answer. It's all guaranteed. You know what they gave him.
It's only 3 years at least, so hey.
Well, you'll have see 2 more years of finding out. Fly Latore for $1.99 didn't say anything. Fly Latore for another $1.99. Matthews got McDavid like money, yes, in all signing bonuses. Did you see that?
5 years, $11.5 million AAV.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And I would say Matthews definitely worth it. He's better than Nylander and he's better than Marner for sure.
The also thing too you have to remember is that it's only a 5-year contract. The next time Matthews is going to be a free agent, he's going to be 27, so he's probably going to be getting paid again.
Yeah, Matthews is going to make a lot of money in this league.
Mm-hmm.
He's very good for left-handed shot. He'd probably be the
So now Toronto has to deal with Marner and their defense. I think they're at like $65 million at their cap right now for 14 players.
It's cup or bust,
So
man. They just got Nylander to start playing. They have to win this year.
Well, this is the year they have to do it because, cap hell's coming for them, for Tampa, and for Winnipeg.
There's going to be an all-blue conference finals,
and only one of them can win.
Yep.
And the other two are even 3 are screwed.
All right,
can be screwed.
Eli Arbai's Rutgers football legacy of failure video. Yeah, they had the quarterback that threw like 16 picks to 3 touchdowns. All right, that was.
Well, that's because they shouldn't be in the Big Ten, and they're only there for the New York market. Mm-hmm. That's why.
All right, read this next one, and we'll talk to Drew a little bit more. I want to kind of
sir, for everything. Boston Hunter. Welcome, sir. Glad you joined us, my man. Super Bowl 52, what is defense? Super Bowl 53, what is offense? Sounds about right. Maybe. At least on the LA side.
It just shows you, though, how organic football really is. Like, you just can't count on it being a shit show every week. It's going to be something different, and that's why I love football.
I think the one thing, at least for me, like, I didn't really feel anything about, like, the game at all. I just felt nothing. I didn't feel anger. I didn't feel like anything like over emotion. I'm just like, Maybe it's just like NFL fatigue. Like, you're just tired of all the bullshit ringing around every week.
There was like part of it. It was like, I don't feel like the best 2 teams made it to the game. In my opinion, I thought it was going to be Chiefs Saints, but
I thought Saints Pats, but I mean, we all know what happened to the Saints.
Yeah, I think the Saints would have given them a much better game, but you can say if, what, when, like, it was just, it was like a very weak hand job was that Super Bowl. It happened, but you're not going to brag about it to your friends. Like,
No.
Hey, the fat chick from
I don't think you even climax at that hand job.
Right.
It's like half limp.
Yeah, and you don't even acknowledge that you tried. You're just like, shit.
Like, whatever, and then I'll just look at my phone.
Let's go get some Panda Express. All right. Eric Worthen, any thoughts on the... Oh, God, we didn't even talk about Porzingis getting traded. The Knicks are a fucking joke, but if you look at that objectively, like, he was unhappy, he hasn't played in a year, and he's injury prone, like, and he's kind of a diva too. Like, you shouldn't bend over for Kristaps Porzingis, but they got jack all in fucking return. So
got salary dump. That's pretty much what it came.
So you can
down
sign
to.
Durant,
the best player you drafted in 20 years, and you turned it into a guy you should have drafted and to shed salary for 2 Supermax contracts, which will probably turn into, I don't know, Tobias Harris and Eric Bledsoe.
Right, or a Lopez brother. Like, no, like, there's no... Zion will... They're not going to win the draft lottery unless fucking Adam Silver rigs it for them. And then they're not going to be able to attract a free agent when they're like, oh, you guys traded Porzingis? Like, you're a fucking shit show over here.
James Dolan's going to give out his fucking CDs again to prospective free agents.
He's like,
that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, here's my
Be like, fuck you, man. I'm getting the hell out of here.
Listen to my jazz band. All right, Jack Danaher. The AFC East is the worst division in the NFL. Yes, I would say. They just let the Patriots produce 6 championships in the last 20 years out of that division. So, yep. Just let them go all wild. All right, this next one for 20. You want to read it?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Spencer. Who are you guys rooting for in the AAF? Me, I'm going San Diego Fleet.
Birmingham,
for obvious
Iron.
reasons.
You're going with the Iron, Drew? I'm going to have to go with the Iron as well. That's my home.
Yeah, nice.
That's my home
Bandwagon,
state.
baby.
That's right.
Birmingham.
Yep. My cousin.
Birmingham.
Yep.
We're not going for the city. We're going for the state, I guess.
No, I'm going for the Scorn City.
Dude,
come on.
The guy that used to babysit me owns the Thai restaurant in Birmingham, so I got to root for.
Oh, that's right.
Lex Taste of Thai. Yes, that's right. He used to babysit me when I was a kid. and now he's one of the most successful restaurateurs in all of Birmingham. All right.
What an achievement.
Yes. South 98. Are the Brooklyn Nets just having an aberration of a season, or is this just the beginning of a budding East contender? No. The Nets are.
I don't know either way, but they're better off than the Knicks right now, and they haven't had a first-round pick their own for like 5 years.
Your words hurt. Okay, you don't have to bring up facts and logic. I hate it when you do that.
What am I, Ben Shapiro? Come on.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm that good.
Right. I'm very impressed that at one point 240 people are watching this over the State of the Union. Like, everyone's like, fuck the country. We want to hear 3 shit posters.
I don't think anyone gives a shit. Does anyone ever give a shit about the State of the Union? Come on.
I haven't watched.
No. Let me. It's just a lot of empty words, and it doesn't matter what the president.
This is the State of the Union every year. The State of the Union is strong. Applause. And that's it for an hour and a half of fucking pleasuring fucking politician self-glossing. That's all there is. That's ridiculous. And people that watch it, I think, allow themselves to be manipulated. But who am I to say? It's none of my business.
I think you need some re-education, Mr. 5 Points.
In a basement, in a Yinzer basement.
No, I think that's going to be me, too. I'll be right next to you.
See the NFL, when they finally...
Being indoctrinated by CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News. All 3 at the same time.
Roger Goodell is going to hit you in the skull for every episode of Days of Our Steelers. Like, he's like, what one?
Dude, it's more like just every second. That's what it's going to turn down to.
Right.
There's gonna be Renegade playing in the background.
Yep. Or stuck in the middle with you as they cover you with fuel. Excuse me. Let's read one more, and we'll wrap up Drew, and then we'll close out the show. So
definitely.
Right. Before You Love Shine. What's up? Before You Love Shine. LA Lakers 3-8, LA Kings 0-2, LA Angels 1-4, LA Dodgers 0-2. What is LAR? Rams 0-2.
The Rams.
Yes, those LA teams have those respective track records versus their Boston counterparts in the play. Wow. I did not know that.
It's just like everything else. They can't beat New England. They cannot beat New England.
What's sad is that the St. Louis Rams and the Patriots ushered in an era of really close Super Bowls and ended it with the worst Super Bowl ever.
Yeah, because for a while they were turning into some ugly blowouts.
Yeah. I think, St. Louis, when they beat Tennessee, was like the first finally good Super Bowl after watching the Bills get their nuts, Nate Newton's nuts dropped on them every year. And then finally the Rams played the Patriots close, or the Rams played the Titans close. Sorry. And that was ushered in the era of close games. Overall, was it a good experience, Drew?
Yeah. Well, we were all disappointed with the game, but after I woke up the next day and the game was over, I was like, it was still fun to get out here. Met a lot of cool people. So I'd say it's worth it. It was fun.
How many hours did it take to leave not only the stadium, but the state of Atlanta, the state of Georgia?
Actually, not as bad as you think. It felt like a pretty typical game. I guess it depends on which way you were going in town. And we also had a Uber we talked to earlier in the week, and he was like, we'll pick you guys up once the game's over. You don't have to call anybody and wait. We'll just meet you outside the stadium. Nice. We'll go. So I was like, that's clutch.
So
that's pretty clutch.
Did EA put you all up in the same hotel?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, Jake Paul was in our hotel. That was kind of random. But...
Really? Did you ask him what selling gambling to little kids is like?
Or...
No.
No one talked to him. We just saw him walk by and we're like,
hey, that's Jake Paul.
Say hey to him.
Right.
Yeah, we're like, oh yeah, that guy's kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
And then we just went back to our conversation.
There's Jake fucking Paul. And
it's that douchebag. It's like, whatever.
Pretty much.
Oh, dude, you got to meet Mr. Beast. How was that?
It was a brief encounter, but he was nice.
He does not seem like he would be a dickhead for any reason.
No, well, he was. I could tell that, because they're wearing their sub to PewDiePie shirts, so he was like, I'm not trying to draw attention to my. all right, I'll get out of your way real quick, because they were scheming. They were trying to get on TV.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think it worked out for them.
And
I think they did. I remember hearing that.
They did for that missed field
they were
goal
like,
by Zerlo.
yeah, they were behind the field goal posts with their T-shirts.
Now, did
Like,
you
pretty genius.
even have time to tell them and be like, "Hey, I'm a YouTuber too," or did you like reserve? Were you like,
I
no?
kind of just said this. I'm doing this for like a vlog thing, and he was like, "All right, cool." I wasn't like plugging myself. I was like, "Subscribe to me on YouTube." Or anything.
Right. Can I get a shout out? Please, Mr. Beast? Like,
Let me meet Mr. PewDiePie, please.
Yes. Could you send Felix a message for me? I think he's great. Like, nah, he seems like just like a normal dude.
Yeah.
Like I think we're all normal dudes except for Jake Paul. Someone.
His brother too, I'd say.
Yeah. What's kind of weird is one of the people in our group like met him in the elevator, and they said he seemed normal, but like that's like a 2-minute conversation, so I can't really take much from that.
Yeah, like, what are you gonna be, an asshole in an elevator? Like, you really don't have many options to go. It's like, well, now I'm just okay. You're a dick. Now we're gonna sit here in uncomfortable silence for the rest of this elevator ride. One more. All right, let's get these Snapchats out of the way. I think there's only 3 left, and I want to talk about Julian Edelman at the end. I see y'all talking about that shit. Leo Doyle. Do you think the Saints would have scored a TD? They would have scored 2 TDs. I'll give them 2.
Taysom Hill, man.
Yep.
Taysom Hill.
Oh yeah.
Saints would have had something for that ass. It would have been. It could have been one of those shootout games if it was the Saints.
Yeah.
But no. Bill Belichick had to turn in his magnum opus. That's right. That's what people are calling it. Beast of Metal 1989. Don't forget the Canucks. If the issues in Florida crease play out long enough, they become a Luongo-shaped nuke in the heart of Van's salary cap. I like that. That was
recapture
fun to read.
penalties, right?
What's that?
I think it might be the recapture penalties, wouldn't it?
Yeah, something like that. I think Florida's been dumping players, though, right? The Canucks could make a run, and that's scary.
Canucks aren't ready yet. Panthers aren't doing too well.
They
Their
could win
goaltending situation's a mess.
Yeah, but the Canucks could win a first-round series, and that would be a huge success for them. I'm not saying a run. I'm saying maybe a first-round win. Maybe.
Jim Benning would be extended for at least 5 more years.
Yep. And Nick the Geek, this will close out. Please don't Snapchat anymore. Is Minnesota cursed with inconsistent sports teams? They're just they're cursed with sports teams.
They're cursed with pain. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't know about it. They're consistent, all right.
Like, oh look, here's a team.
Right.
It will cause you horrifying pain for the rest of your life.
Yeah. You know, a 4-month-old baby has seen the Red Sox and the Patriots win a World Series or win it all, and.
Dude, if you're 10 or like 13 years old in Boston, you've seen every team win.
Fuck them, man. I'd be mad. I'm like, why couldn't my dad be from Boston, you know? Like,
it's like, why couldn't the Pirates win a goddamn championship?
Yeah.
Fucking
What
cheapskate
they've
piece
done-
of shit. Then I'd be fulfilled. Now it's like, what the fuck, Pirates?
what they
Damn
have
it.
done is so enviable. Like, Drew, right? Like, you're from Georgia, right?
I'm from Alabama.
Oh,
like,
okay.
born and raised.
I thought you were from Fairburn, Georgia.
No. Just
Like,
5
that
points
randomly, actually.
And I think we talked about this.
Hey,
like, when you come out the womb in Alabama, like, you got to pick, dude. Like, it's either
Yeah.
Alabama or Auburn. And it's not up for discussion. And if you're in an Auburn house and you pick Alabama, like, you might not be able to eat dinner with the family. And when I was there, but it was Bo Jackson and they were so good. And I was like, I like the orange and blue. And then now when I grow up, I'm like, why didn't I like the red and the white? Like, what was I thinking, man?
Well, when I was a kid, like in elementary school, Auburn won like 6 games in a row or something. So they were the hot team to root for. Kind of like when you joined in.
Yeah.
Like I grew up in my dad was a Vanderbilt fan. So that's what I was mainly cheering for, like all the way through my high school years.
Well, good thing you dropped out of that one.
Yeah.
Your dad was a
Getting
Vandy
used to
fan?
losing. Yeah.
Wow. Is he a lawyer or something? Is that?
What stinks about Alabama is like there's no professional team down there either. So the Birmingham Iron are gonna bring us greatness.
Yes. Oh, dude, you got to vlog the shit out of that. I'm gonna watch your Super Bowl vlog after this. Did you put a
Appreciate
shout
it.
out in for us in there?
Yep.
'Cause I asked.
The
you-
final like 5 seconds.
Yep. All right, we got some late Snapchats coming in. A huge one from Mr.
Super
Mephisto for 20. You want to read this one, Tree?
I admit, I didn't watch the Super Bowl last Sunday. Instead, I binged some film noir movie. When I saw the final score, I realized I witnessed more scoring in those movies than everyone else watching the game. Here's $20. Peace.
He spent $20 for that joke, which I appreciate.
Hey, we were scoring too, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. That's like the movie Pee-wee's Big Adventure. They spend the entire first half of the movie setting up the Remember the Alamo joke. That's all. And Mr. Mephisto spent $20 to tell us that joke. And there was more scoring in those film noir movies.
Probably.
Vanilla Sky.
Probably more breasts too.
Yes. Less nipple, though. Less nipple.
Yeah, obviously less nipple.
Yeah.
Has to be less
I
nipple.
mean, we saw 2 that belonged to Adam Levine. That was sad. All right, 2001 to 2019, the mass hole generation in sports. You just can't hate them, though. Like, you can't hate them for having their teams win. Like, if I would take that any day of the week. Like, if the Giants won 6 Super Bowls in 20 years, I would just, I don't know what I would do. I would just watch the Super Bowl Sunday or the what's that? The Magic season on repeat. Over and over every day.
I quietly resent you in the background, but yes,
Yeah.
I mean, we'd all do the same.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we'd all kill like for the Steelers or anything like that to win more Super Bowls. Come on,
Yeah.
like
Steelers have-
that hunger always comes back.
Right. Yeah.
It comes back after every once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just waiting for this era to end. This Belichick
Yeah.
Brady dominance. It's been amazing to watch, but it's coming to an end. It is.
Well, I mean, this is probably Gronk's last hurrah. I mean, let's be real. I mean, I wouldn't blame him because he's been injured to shit, and I'd rather him go on top. Like,
I think what's amazing is that they never get draft picks either. Like, they're always picking like
because they know how to develop players,
Right.
and they pick guys that are very cerebral, they're intelligent, they understand the game, and they pick guys that can mold. They can mold in their image, and that's why, like, I don't really hate the Patriots. I more or less respect.
All right, we'll close the show with: is Julian Edelman a Hall of Famer?
No,
No, not even.
hard pass. Dude, I can make it. I could probably pick at least 20 wide receivers that are more Hall of Famer than
Brandon
Julian
Stokely,
Edelman.
like Wes Welker.
Dude, Jordy Nelson would be more of a Hall of Famer than Julian. Come on.
I
I don't think people understand how like difficult it is to make it to.
Yeah, just because he made 2 clutch catches in the Super Bowl. I mean, just give it to David Tyree, right? Shit.
Yeah, Mario Manningham. Dude,
Yeah.
give it to Jermaine Kearse.
Yeah.
He had one of the greatest catches in Super Bowl history.
Dude,
Wasn't he in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. Irving Fryer is way up on the list, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. You know?
Yeah, dude, Hines Ward isn't in the Hall of Fame. I think Tim Brown didn't make it for like 20 years.
Yeah. Torrey Holt is on the current. Like,
Isaac
PR.
Bruce.
Yeah, Ike Bruce. They all
Like
get
Wayne
in.
Corbett, even.
They'll all get in. That's the thing with the Hall of Fame in football. It's really the Hall of Good. It's not, you know.
Yeah.
I thought they had a good class this year, though. I mean, I liked it.
And there's so many good players that just I know there's a lot of factors, but they have to let more in by nature. It's not like baseball where only 3 guys get in every year, and sometimes you question those 3. And
No, you question the ones that are picked by the veteran. Those are the ones you question.
Bill Mazeroski.
Like, how is Harold Baines a Hall of Famer?
And Fred McGriff
Like,
is
he was
not.
Solid.
Right. Andre
But, like,
Dawson should not
It's
be.
like
a
it would have
Hall of
been
Famer.
weird if Harold Baines made the Hall of Fame if Edgar Martinez did.
And
Like,
Edgar's
that makes
in.
no sense.
Edgar's in. I don't understand how they get in and somebody like Carlos Baerga doesn't get even looked at because he had only like 4 years of dominance. It's just weird how they put those because they you know why they put Baines and Martinez in to spite Barry Bonds and Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa. and Roger Clemens. They're just like, fuck you. We'll put Harold Baines in before you. That's what we'll
And that's
do.
why baseball's dying.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but
They need to have like they need to let fans play like an inning. Make it more interesting, you know.
dude, could you imagine me playing baseball? Probably be worse than my vert.
I've seen you play football and it wasn't pretty, so.
No shit, I can't fucking catch.
All right, we've done our hour of time. Drew, thanks so much for coming in and giving us the lowdown, even though this was like a disjointed show. I think I got a lot of information out.
Thanks for having me on. It was fun.
Having you
Always,
on.
I'm glad you had it on, dude.
Yeah. Any parting shots? Anything you want to say? Everyone sub to Not the Expert. If you are not subbing to Not the Expert, you're a bad person. Here, I'm gonna put his link in the chat here. So
personally, I can vouch. I've binge watched a good bit of his shit over the past week or so. I can confirm it's good shit.
I want to talk about this.
Appreciate
Like, you don't you just free flow your videos. Like
Well, like if I messed up, I'll just like take 5 seconds to like cool off, and then I'll say it again, and then just move it back in editing because I don't really use Facecam.
Okay. Yeah. That's so weird to me. Like, I could never shotgun go and just start talking about the 5 greatest QBs in the history. Like, it would just sound like me saying, yeah.
I usually cut out the ums, but like I have those too. It's
okay.
just
So you're not a machine. All right.
not even close. That's like I don't usually do like streaming or anything because it's not as natural for me.
Yeah, you are pretty stiff in real. No, I'm just kidding. You're fine.
Dude, you telling someone we don't know? Jesus Christ! Damn, son.
All right, everyone, subscribe to Not the Expert. Tree, any parting words? This was a good show. It's fun.
Oh, sir. I mean, I do agree. It was a good show. I'm glad my Yinzernet show up and not mess up today.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Internet.
I would say it was a strong move to go set up in a Panera before the show. Thank you, both.
Oh yes.
Drew and I.
It was not a Panera. It was a Caribou Coffee.
That's right. You're not in a Timmy's in Canada? All right.
Nah.
All right. Everybody, thank you for coming out. Thanks for anybody that's new that came up. Sorry we don't really read the general chat. It's too hard to concentrate. But if you did write at us and tell us that we suck, then go fuck yourself. All right. Thanks, everyone, for all the love. Appreciate it. I'm 5 Points Vids. And, the whole thing. Dumpster fire.
Peace out, yo.
Go Iron for John.